Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Welcome back, my friend. This is BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron, and this is your quick Jiu-Jitsu podcast. This week, is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu good for you? So good for me, good for you. I'm going to start off on the negative today. Oh boy, happy Monday. We're starting off on, and then I'll get it out of the way. Sometimes people say I'm a little too positive about jiu-jitsu, so let's hit this negative one first. It's real. It definitely happens. Is jiu-jitsu good for you? Well, you have to look at the fact you might get injured. Jiu-jitsu is a contact sport. Injuries happen. I've been very fortunate. Trained for over 20 years. Never had a surgery due to training. I've probably been to the doctor a few times, but nothing I could really remember. Been hurt? Sure. Bruised? Absolutely. Choked unconscious? Oh yeah, add that to the list. But injured to where I'm getting a surgery done? I've been pretty fortunate. No, I have not had that. So, it could happen to me tomorrow. Hoping to train tomorrow. Hoping to not train and get injured tomorrow. But it's just part of the game. I've done things to minimize this, and I urge you to do that as well. I have a short little mental list. Not a real list, because that's kind of creepy, of people who I don't train with. People who, basically, I feel that they could care less about whether they're safe with me or not. And the list is short, and it's, a little bit more recently, it got shorter. One of the guys that I had on the list is like, this guy, he's dangerous to roll with, he's injury prone, I'm out. He's proved to himself otherwise. Good for him. Happy to train with him now. Put that behind us. So what can you do to reduce injuries? Well, if you're new, slow down. Stop trying to win. Try to learn jiu-jitsu. I think when you're trying to win, you're trying to fight, you're a lot more likely to get injured. You could tap a little earlier. I've been training for 20 years. I'm a black belt. If I feel like I'm getting confused by something and I don't know for sure what I should be doing, I need to either roll to my right or to my left, to push in or pull out. What am I doing here? I can tap to that. I mean, granted, it doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. And then usually I follow up by, I don't know what I need to do to try to get out of that. And usually the person would tell me, oh, you're going to roll? Oh, that's a bad idea. You got to fight hands. Okay, thank you. Now I know. I'll probably forget, but at least you told me that time. So tapping a little earlier. If you're not good at takedowns tend to be a little bit more injury prone. You have to land somewhere. Often in jiu-jitsu, we have a crowded mat space. Or land on somebody else, or get landed on. Anybody get hurt doing that. You can be training with your most safest training partner, and then get landed on by two other people. So be careful for that. If you're not good at takedowns, you need to pair up with somebody who has your safety in mind. I can't count the times when I was a white belt and a blue belt, I got thrown so hard. It's crazy. And then you get landed on. Thud, thud. The thud of hitting the mat and the thud of somebody else landing on me. That's not safe. My fundamentals were wrong. I didn't need to get thrown like that to learn that. I needed to learn something. So if you're not good at takedowns and you want to add those to your game, learn them. Don't just go in blindly and try to tackle somebody or pick somebody up. It can be done safely, especially if you have enough mat space. It's a good time. If you had a crowded gym, you know what? Train a little bit longer if you can. After jiu-jitsu is over, are people getting another one last round in? Usually plenty of mat space when 95% of the people pack up and head home. That's your time to work on your takedowns if that's what you want, in a safe manner with a trusted training partner that knows a bit. You don't want two totally green people working on the takedowns. Not a lot of benefit there. The biggest thing I can tell you is to own your injuries. Take responsibility for them. If you get injured, how is it something you could have prevented? Is it the person you were training with? Do I not need to train with that person? Is it the technique that I was doing? Is it the technique that was being done to me? Should I have tapped earlier? Did I upset this person? I'm not rolling people who are mad. Been a few years. I put a guillotine choke on somebody. He ended up getting out, popped his out. He was pissed. It's like, okay, we're done. I'm not fighting you here. I'm trying to do jiu-jitsu. This is my fun place. Let's take a break. And that's okay to take a break or to ask to take a break. I've been pretty good at avoiding injuries. I don't know that it'll happen in the future. Nobody knows. Part of it's out of our hands. I hope you have a healthy training session coming up next. And many years in the future. But the definite, is this good for me? If you're coming home injured regularly, too beat up to feel good tomorrow, you need to change what you're doing a little bit. Adjust those dials of intensity, maybe. Maybe change the game you're playing. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to Patreon, kick in a monthly donation. Greatly appreciated, my friends. I want you to have a great day and stay sweaty.